Okay, good morning. This is Edwin Soriano of edwinsoriano.com. I'm also known as Ka Edong, and this is the first episode of Ed Talks. And I'm pleased to be with one of my mentors. Unknowingly, he was one of my mentors. He's a real estate guru. He came up. He's a best-selling author of uh, Think Rich Pinoy, and the second one is Grow Rich Pinoy. And his latest book, which we'll talk about more later, is Scale Up Your Internet Startup. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to one of my mentors, Mr. Larry Gamboa.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you for being here, Larry. It's a pleasure having you at such short notice.
Yes, sir.
Ayun.
Good being here.
Good being here. Maraming salamat. Ayun, this is going to be an exciting interview. We're going to learn from you. That's the objective of this. We're going to learn from you. I'm going to learn from you, and then I'm doing this so that our audience can learn from you, from your experience as well.
Okay.
Okay, sige game. I have some warm-up questions.
Fine.
It's a game.
All right.
It's a game. Okay,
Mhm.
there are 3 rounds.
3 rounds. All right.
Okay, and then I'm going to count. I'm going to score you.
Okay.
Okay, round 1 for 1 minute. I'm going to ask you. Bibilangin ko yung mga sagot mo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First question, first round for 60 seconds.
Mm.
Bullets lang.
Mhm.
Sagot lang ng sagot, and then I'll be counting.
All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, what are you grateful for this week?
The chance to wake up in the morning,
Okay.
to use my medicine, the enzymes that I get, the
Okay.
calamansi,
Okay.
followed by the fruits,
Okay.
and prayer time,
Okay.
and just to be able to breathe, to walk around, listen to the birds, smell the air, just be grateful for being alive. Another day,
Okay.
at the start of the day, when everything is rushing at me, be able to step back and say, hold it, where is this good things coming from? Okay, of course, grateful to Him, to our Lord. No?
Okay.
And that's it, man. That's the start of each day, and the idea is the rest of the day is a continuation of that gratefulness at the initial beginning of the day.
Very nice. Okay, sige, let's stop there. That was around 50 seconds, so let's make the round around 50 seconds.
All right.
Okay, round 2, a
Mhm.
bit longer, period. What are you grateful for this week?
This
The
week,
past 7 days.
we had the Think Rich Pinoy Wealth Seminar,
Oh, very nice.
maybe the 26th. Like we have 4 a year for the last 6-7 years.
Wow. Okay.
We had 47 participants. We had speakers like Bo Sanchez, like Leila Hernandez, the 9 to 5 millionaire,
Yes.
Charlie Gamboa, how to buy and flip real estate in the BF Homes area. We had people like Eden, Dairit,
Okay.
all real estate investors sharing of their knowledge, their wisdom, both the hard knocks and the successes, being so young and just amazing how real estate investing has taken hold or is taking hold in our country. No? Think Rich Pinoy somehow opened up a can of worms.
Okay. And they're good words.
Oh yes, they're not even worms. They're successful entrepreneurs,
Very
or they have startups in their own right using real estate as a key,
As a platform.
as a platform. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
Okay.
that seminar is amazing. And today, before we got together now,
Yeah.
I was already talking to Ronald Kagape to review what we
Mhm.
learned from the seminar, how we can improve the next one. And
Very nice.
tomorrow we have a real estate investors lunch.
Okay.
Normally 1 week after the seminar.
Okay.
Those who really want to invest, those who want to be private lenders, equity partners,
Mhm.
we give them the opportunity, small group 12 to 15,
Okay.
where we talk about what can they do next if they really are itching to invest but minimize risk.
Okay.
So in essence, we either partner with them or we send them to somebody who's got a property that
Okay.
looks good.
Uh-huh.
Then they negotiate directly with that and end
Okay.
up becoming a private lender at a
Okay.
fixed interest rate or an equity partner they take. both the upside and the downside risk.
Interesting. Okay. Let's talk about that more later.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. That was our long round two.
Yes. Very, very interesting round two. Gratefulness,
Right.
gratefulness, gratefulness.
And the third is, do you have a guess what the third round is about?
No?
The third is about gratefulness also.
Mm-hmm.
And the period is your life.
All right.
Okay, so in
That's
your
pretty
life.
long. Huh? That's
That's
67 years.
Is it?
I know.
67. It doesn't look like
going on
67.
68. Going on
Talaga?
68 this year, yeah. This year.
Okay, very nice. So 67 years.
Mhm.
What are you grateful for? Maybe the top things that you're grateful for in 67 years. So much, huh?
I got 4 kids, 2 grandchildren. That means one of the 4 is married, the other 3 not yet.
Okay.
But only one is still finishing college next year.
Mhm.
Then they would have all completed their studies and they're moving on to chart their own life,
Yes.
find their own direction. And so I'm stepping back now. I've been reflecting on Rembrandt's painting of the return of the prodigal son.
Okay.
So you're the younger son, I was the younger son, I'm the elder brother, the judgmental elder brother. I see
Okay.
myself there. But then you cannot stay as the younger son, elder brother. You become the compassionate father at a certain point in time. So that's the role I'm learning transitioning into, to learn to be a compassionate father who can love unconditionally, not only my own children, but people who I somehow get in touch with. And most of them I believe are entrepreneurs. So the return of the prodigal
The
son,
return of the prodigal son.
the finding of the lost brothers
Okay.
by the compassionate father.
Very nice. Okay, we'll talk about your family a bit more later on.
All right, kaya daw.
Okay. That was round 1, 2, and 3. I was supposed to count each of them, but I just really was mesmerized with everything that you were describing earlier. So that's gratefulness, and that's the first part.
Yes.
So, ayun. I asked Larry about gratefulness because that's the first part of the book that we are writing. I'm co-writing this with Juliet Van Ruben, my business partner and my co-author in a book that's entitled "Create Your Own Adventure: 7 Steps to Living the Life That You've Always Wanted."
All right.
Okay,
Wow.
and this is a result of the boot camp that we attended
Okay,
together.
Authors Bootcamp of Bo, yes.
Yes, the best-selling authors boot camp of Bo Sanchez, and ayun, I created a 7-step framework for success. One of the principles of our book, Larry,
7 steps are in what word?
are in success.
Whoa,
They're
success.
also they're also in journey.
Journey, all right. All right. All 7 letters.
7 letters.
All right.
Okay. So just to give a preview to the audience, the book has 7 steps, and it spells out success. It starts with step 1. S stands for say thanks or gratitude, just like we discussed earlier. Step 2 is you or unquestionable responsibility, owning up to whatever results we have. That's step 2. Number 3 is clarity of goals. C, clarity of goals. Step 3, core values. What are the values related to the goals that you have? Step 5 is expectorate. Expectorate, or letting go of baggage.
Oh, okay. Kala ko,
Healthy.
medicine yan. Expectorant.
Expectorant.
Benadryl.
Yeah,
Expectorant.
that's where it comes from.
All
Okay, and then step 6 is set in motion or take action. Okay, and step 7 is surrender to the Lord. And for this first episode, we're focusing on gratitude.
Okay.
That's why I asked you about gratitude. And yun, I'd like to thank you for being here, for making time for this interview.
Thank you for the privilege.
Ayan. At the end of this video, I'll be telling you more about this book. We'll be talking about it in a while. It's Scale Up Your Internet Startup, and I'll be letting you know how you can get this book care of Larry Gamboa as part of our gift later on. Okay? Sige, game. We talked about gratitude. Can I tell you a story muna
Sure.
before I
Sure.
Ayun, I'm telling actually them the story. I mentioned earlier that Larry is one of my mentors. In 2000, 2006, 2007. 2005, actually, I already met Larry. It was about a cash flow game
Mm.
in Charter House.
Oh.
And then that's where I was introduced to the book of Larry. It's called Think Rich Pinoy. It's a manual, really. It's a manual. You should get it if you want to go into real estate, foreclosed properties. I read the book. I read the book probably 3 times, and I used it as a manual.
Whoa. Mm.
And while I was working at Intel at that time in Cavite,
I see.
I got to buy 3 properties just by following your book.
Wow, amazing.
3 properties. So that those 3 properties continue to bring me passive income, me and my wife passive income.
Beautiful.
And yun, and I learned that from Larry. He was mentoring me even without me meeting him pa at that time.
Mm.
And also, you introduced me to the seminar, the PSI seminar.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I consider Larry as the person who enrolled me to the PSI Success Seminar, and it changed my life, Larry.
Jeez.
The
Amazing.
same way it probably changed many people's
Yes,
lives, probably your
including
lives
me.
as well.
Including mine, yeah.
Yun. Okay. So maybe let's give the viewers a background of your first book,
All right.
or maybe a background story of where you were at that time and how you got there.
All right.
That journey. Can you
Mhm.
can you tell us about that?
Well, it's like connecting the dots. No? As Steve Jobs says, it's hard to connect the dots forward, the 3 dots. But looking backwards, all of a sudden it makes sense, these 3 dots. Well, my first dot, if you want to say, is I got fired from a company that I helped start and managed for 10 years. Okay? And made money, myself and my partners, for 10 years. Painful, very, very painful. But through that experience, I didn't know, but now I do know better. That opened up the door. I was in management training then and was covering the Philippines and Asia for this company. That opened the door to real estate because I didn't know what to do next. So I did PSI, I soul searched. I said, what?
Seminarista.
Yes. So, well, not only that, in a real sense, I just came out from the LaSalle Brothers earlier. So, seminary talaga. No? The LaSalle Brothers have a mission for teaching.
Right.
So I left the LaSalle Brothers, but later on I found out the brothers never left me. In other words, the passion to teach, to communicate in the classroom went with me. So my problem is in what? That's when real estate came into the picture. I did deals. The first deal was a critical one because you have to win in your first deal, otherwise you'll stop. So
Right.
if you win and at least make some money in the first deal, that encourages you to go into a second deal, and it goes, then you go into a third deal, and soon you're into deal making. And your deals, of course, follow the same framework. You find the property, you fund it, you fix it, and you flip the property. 4Fs, with variations. And if you make money, the deals get more complex. They get a little bigger from 5 apartment units. Soon it's 10 condo units. From 10 condo units, you've got 2 floors, 3 floors, a 5-story building. But it's still the same thing. You find where is that building, you find the condo, you fund it either through banks or somehow through the bank through an auction, funding 90%, and you put out 10%, and then you fix it. You got to refurbish it, stage it, so that you can turn around and sell it, either rent to own or rent or wholesale it, and then you can flip it or hold. And that's where I discovered that framework, and I just shared in the book Think Rich Pinoy. That wouldn't have happened without getting fired from that training company. So it opened up a whole world. One door closed, and then another door opened that led to the book. And of course, the book gave rise to the seminar. So I was back to the training game. But this time I'm training startups, entrepreneurs who want to look for financial freedom. even as their employees, be they hoping to be authors, speakers, seminar leaders, online marketers, or just simply real estate investors, or all five combined, or combinations of the five.
Right.
So that's how the journey started.
Yeah, can we go back to that point? You mentioned you got fired.
Yes.
What was it like back then?